Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today we are here to continue our spooky season focused content by taking a look at the top 15 movies that are focused specifically on Halloween. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so first things first, you might notice it's looking a little different behind me here. I am in the process of kind of rearranging this room. I've been talking about it. That way I can get it done. We can get a room tour going. There's definitely some changes going on. I just had so many movies I had to kind of reorganize how I was keeping them. They were too spread around, and got to get it under control, get it all nice and tidy, and get all of my stuff up so that I can do a room tour with you guys. But so it's a little under construction still. Hopefully I will have it all finished by the time I do my next video. So it's kind of a little temporary everywhere. So please forgive me on that. But I wanted to get out here with this video today on the top 15 Halloween focused movies. Now we talk about a lot of movies that we watch during Halloween season that, you know, are creepy and they go with the vibe. But what I'm talking about here is specifically movies where Halloween is important to the concept of the movie, that the rules of Halloween, the Halloween holiday, that things are happening because it's Halloween. Not that it's just set around Halloween or it's just a scary movie so that you watch it around Halloween because it has those vibes. No, this is where Halloween is central to the film. So with that, I have a list here, and one movie that is not on my list here, I can kind of throw it out here right now as an honorable mention, is one that a lot of you guys have talked about, and that is Lady in White. Lady in White, for me, there is just a lot of plot threads in that movie. I feel like it's unnecessarily heavy and sad and kind of like a punch to the groin in that movie. And it takes place on Halloween. I don't know. For me, it's not one that I revisit a bunch. I know it for a lot of people has a lot of fall vibes, a lot of Halloween vibes. But I did kind of want to mention it here because a lot of people keep mentioning it. But I'm not like, I don't know. That one's just, it's off the mark from what I'm talking about here for me. So enough about that, though. I do want to get into the ones that I'm talking about. And so starting here, I think it's 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Maybe it's 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No, I had it right. It's 15. I have not slept very much. All right. So number 15 on the list, just jumping right into it, is Bad Candy. Now, I have talked about this one recently on here. This is an anthology. It stars Zach Galligan from Gremlins. You are going to get one of my favorite things in here, which is that late night FM DJ in a horror movie. I think it's Chilly Billy is the DJ in the movie. And so you're kind of going to get a narration, kind of like an ongoing cutback to the DJ kind of talking about things, setting up things for the night in Bad Candy. But it all takes place on Halloween. It is a 100% Halloween film. This is supposed to be New Salem radio DJ Chilly Billy and Paul tell a twisted anthology of terror. So like they really take that to the next level as far as like the DJs being the late night FM DJ being a big part of the movie. I think the back artwork is super cool here. There's some nice creepy villains. You know, not every story is a home run, but I think it is a good one. And like I said, everything is happening because it's Halloween. and it's taking place on Halloween. Everything about Halloween holiday is celebrated. You can tell that from the cover. And so for me, it checks that. This is about Halloween. It's a horror, has all of that horror stuff, and it's an anthology, but it's about Halloween. So Bad Candy comes in at number 15. I think this one I got off on my count was the next one, because the next one I have a tie at number 14, and I've mentioned these films before, but I am talking about The Barn 1 and The Barn 2. Now, these movies, again, they take place because it is Halloween. It's like so you've got some small town vibes. You got some farmland, sort of farm terror. My man Daniel did at Cobwebs did a great video on like farmland terror, which is really cool. You kind of work that in this small town. It's Halloween night. There's a party. This is The Barn 1. There's a party. This group of kids, they're at a Halloween party. They leave the party. They go to this like forbidden, abandoned barn on this farm, and they set loose these demons. And the demons are very like Halloween oriented, right down to like a scarecrow with like a jack-o'-lantern head and things like that. It's got a little camp value, but again, it's 100% happening because it's Halloween. All the Halloween vibes, the farmland vibes, the fall vibes, the corn stalks, the fields, the jack-o'-lanterns, all that kind of stuff. And then The Barn 2, they actually got a little bit more money. So you got like Doug Bradley, you've got Joe Bob Briggs, you've got Diana Prince, the male girl from Joe Bob Briggs, Linnea Quigley is in here. I'm trying to think of who else is in here. R.A. Lehman, Lloyd Kaufman are all in here. So, you have a kind of like a little bit more budget, but the concept's kind of the same. Like, it's all Halloween again. The town is finally celebrating Halloween again. They have a party, and guess what happens? You notice you're going to see some of the same demons on there. So, but it's a lot of fun. Both, I mean, they on Halloween night, the legend of the barn awakens. And then over here, this Halloween, no one can stop the harvest. So again, it's all Halloween specific. Barn 1, Barn 2, double feature. Cool little double feature here. Check them out. All right, next up on the list is one that I don't have. And it's kind of a spoof and comedy, so you might be surprised to find it on the list. But everything that's happening in this movie is happening because it's Halloween, and you have to be able to buy it because it's Halloween. And I'm talking about Stan Helsing. And it's totally a spoof. Stan Helsing, works at Schlockbuster, an old, mock movie rental place. And they basically, there's like a spoof of all like the famous movie monsters that get loose. But because it's Halloween night and they're going to a Halloween party and everybody's trick-or-treating and it's Halloween, the monsters all the monsters fit in because it's Halloween. So again, this couldn't happen unless it's Halloween. So we're going to take on all these monsters. You got all like regular trick-or-treaters, you got regular Halloween partiers, all of that stuff. And it's happening because it's Halloween. I actually really enjoy this spoof because I like how it brings in the old video rental store, all that kind of stuff. I think it's funny they call it Schlockbuster in the movie. You've got Kenan Thompson. I can't remember off the top of my head everybody that's in this movie. I literally just fell asleep watching this movie a couple of nights ago. And I think it's a lot of fun. I'm not the biggest on spoofs, but they actually do throw an original story in here. So you're gonna see a ton of recognizable faces in this movie. But again, everything that's happening is happening because it's Halloween, and Halloween is embraced in the movie. So Stan Helsing comes in at number 15 at number 13. I think this is a good time because I just noticed what I had originally was thinking about putting on the list. It's a good time for me to talk about a couple of movies that you're not going to see on this list that you might expect. I'm talking about Hell Feast, or Hellfest, Hell House LLC, Haunt, Houses October Built. You're not going to see those because while some might take place in and around Halloween and haunted houses come out for Halloween, those are more about the season in general, and they're not about the specific holiday of Halloween as much. And I might do a video just ranking those type of movies if you guys are interested in that and talking about those type of movies. Because there's a lot. There's like a big kind of genre with that, with the haunted house movies. And I love haunted house movies. And I love haunted houses. I love Halloween Horror Nights. It's one of my favorite things to do at Universal Studios. But so you won't see those in here because it's more like a seasonal thing and not necessarily specifically the night and about the tropes and the traditions of Halloween itself. All right, so next up on our list, because of that, is one, believe it, I don't have. I really want that Scream Factory set of all three of these with the posters, everything else. I'm talking about Night of the Demons. Night of the Demons, of course, Linnea Quigley. This is your 80s classic here. A lot of fun. Again, it's happening because it's Halloween. The kids on Halloween are going to have a Halloween party. They break into somewhere they shouldn't be. They're where they shouldn't be to have this Halloween party. And because it's Halloween, they are able to set these demons free, and then wackiness ensues. So again, it's Halloween. Everything is happening because it is Halloween. Absolute classic. Schlock, fun, 80s classic, cheese. I really enjoy Night of the Demons. Now, they did a remake, and I have not actually seen. I saw bits and pieces of the remake. I think it's a direct remake of the original, and I saw a weird scene with a lipstick in there too. But it is one that just immediately pops in my head when I think Halloween movies and things that have to do with Halloween. So Night of the Demons has to come in on our list. All right, next up on our list is one that I've talked about recently too, and I really just think this has all of the Halloween vibes, particularly part 2 here. There's 2 of these movies. I think part 2 is the one that sticks out for me as focused on Halloween, happening because it's Halloween. You see trick or treat. There's a lot of like basis of Halloween in the movie. Like everything that is happening, there's people decorating their yards for Halloween. You have classic Halloween and movie monsters come out, and I'm talking about Goosebumps 2. I think this movie is a lot of fun, and you're going to get a werewolf, you're going to get a Yeti monster, you're going to get, I talked about the evil gummy bears, but I don't know at what point they changed it, but like if you look this movie up on IMDb, and I remember when it came out, it was actually called Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween, because it's specifically so much to do with Halloween. Now, I don't know about when they released it on physical media, if they changed it, or why they changed it, but the movie looks cool in 4K. I think the movie is fun, and it definitely has all the Halloween vibes that you want. Like everything is Halloween centered and Halloween centric. They're carving pumpkins, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of what we're looking for here. And this one's just fun. You can watch this one with your family and not be worried about it and get a little fun out of it. But Goosebumps 2, all those Halloween vibes and feels for me. The next one up on the list is one that I've talked about recently too on horror movies that are on streaming, I think, a video that I did. And it's one that is 100% happening because it's Halloween, and I am talking about Dark Harvest. This is one that I just saw for the first time ever recently and really enjoyed it. I needed a little more explanation in it, but the journey of the movie was more important than the destination. There's some like kind of CGI that was not needed. But you're in this small idyllic town, so it has that small creepy small town atmosphere vibe that I love. You're in this small town. It's set in like the late 60s. and you don't know where you are. It feels like this town is isolated in some weird alternate universe. But in this town, every Halloween night, they hold what they call the Run, and all of the town's teenage boys who are of age have to go out, and it's like a farming town, a corn farming town, so there's cornfields everywhere. They have to go out and hunt down this scarecrow jack-o'-lantern head demon, and they must kill him before he reaches the church at midnight on Halloween. So it is, I mean, it is literally happening because it is Halloween. And everything is here. And this movie is littered with, there's jack-o'-lanterns, pumpkins, Halloween imagery. And again, everything is happening specifically because it's Halloween. All of that stuff. You need to check it out. It gets definitely dark, and I need more explanation on this movie. Like, I need where it goes. I'm not trying to do like a spoiler on it. But if you watch it, I really want to hear from you about the ending. And do you feel like you need more explanation of why all this is happening? But the juice is worth the squeeze on the ride for this movie, and is 100% Halloween focused. And Dark Harvest comes in on our list. So next up on our list is a classic, and of course I have this on 4K, but I pulled this because I always like this cover, and I am talking about Halloween. And you might be thinking like, wait, what the hell? Why is Halloween so low on his list? Like, what's he doing? Well, if you think about it, like, this is, famously the night he came home, right, is Halloween. And you get lots of Halloween focused imagery, and you get trick-or-treaters and all that kind of stuff. And Halloween definitely plays into it. But honestly, it almost is like it could have been set on any like Saturday night when teenage girls were hired to babysit for people to go out. It doesn't seem like it had to be Halloween. It doesn't really specifically say why it's Halloween in this movie. Of course, the opening kill happens on Halloween too, and young Michael Myers is in a costume. But I feel like you could set this same movie when it wasn't Halloween. So for that reason, it's a little bit lower, but it has all the Halloween vibes. And of course, it's one that you think about when you think about Halloween movies. It's an absolute classic. And sorry if I'm spoiling this, but yes, it takes place on Halloween. And there is a killer named Michael Myers who is after his sister. But Halloween comes in on our list. Next up on the list is another one I just saw recently, and this movie scared the absolute crap out of me. And it way ahead of its time because it came out in 1992. But I am talking about Ghostwatch. I got turned on to this film by Daniel over at Cobwebs. I had never heard it. It's like, oh, it's on streaming. I'll try it because I have the free Shudder and AMC with my Prime. I was like, I'll try this because I'll try before I buy. I've never heard of it. I'm going to watch it. Scared me so much that I had to pause the movie because my anxiety was getting to me. My heart rate was way up. I was like on the edge of my seat. Now I over-identified with too much from a personal standpoint, maybe made it a little more scary. But I thought it was genuinely well done and creepy. And I imagine, because this movie famously got shut down in the UK because it had over 1 million calls on the night that it premiered, people thinking it was real. And imagine in 1992, you hadn't seen anything like this, really. So I imagine it was scary because it's done documentary style about an actual news crew. These people are actually news crew people that went to investigate a haunted house, and it's a lot of it's based on true stuff, and it's done on Halloween. It's broadcast on Halloween. It's not higher because there's not as much talk about Halloween itself, but the whole thing is happening and being filmed and done and broadcast because it is Halloween. And a classic haunted house story here too. I mean, this thing is just so well done, so believable. Ghost Watch has to come in on our list. All right, next up is its spiritual brother. I don't have this movie, but you can stream it right now on Shudder, I think, or AMC. I am talking about the WNUF Halloween special. This is one that I really want to pick up. It is very, very similar to Ghost Watch. They definitely took cues from Ghost Watch, but what they added in was even more Halloween focused feels. Again, and it starts to get off and get more and more scary as it goes. But again, you kind of have the same setup of like I don't want to say found footage, but like documentary style, where the crew is going to investigate something. And in that broadcast, though, they actually in the movie have created their own like commercials and some, Halloween centered commercials and stuff. So you get this something that's almost like blends in Ghost Watch and Late Night with the Devil and something else. And I just think it has all the cool retro Halloween vibes. It even makes it look like some of it's on VHS tape where it's fast forwarding through commercials. It just gives you all the nostalgic old school like mid 80s Halloween vibes, and I absolutely love that. So I really need to pick up the WNUF Halloween special, and there's a part 2 coming out, and I'd like to see that too. So I got to grab those, but definitely has to be on our list. All right, I think we have 6 left. So coming up next on our list is one that I actually do have and have talked about a couple times recently, and it is another Halloween focused anthology. There's some good ones out there. Tales of Halloween. Now here you're going to get some other faces from other horror movies and films, like Tiffany Shepis is in here. You're going to get some people like that, and other people that you've seen pop up in horror movies, like, oh, I recognize that person. But there is a bunch of like tales in this, and we're led to believe kind of maybe at the end that it's the devil himself on Halloween night walking the earth that's causing all of these different stories, all these different things to happen. And not all, again, it's an anthology, so not all of the stories find their mark for me. Trick or treat, you're dead. But the ones that do are really good, and I like the overall story that maybe it's old Scratch himself that's kind of like causing this and pulling the strings and setting all this up. But I remember watching Tales for Halloween the first time and thinking, man, that's a damn good Halloween horror anthology right there. Maybe they could have done a few less stories and made the stories they had longer, but the story that kicks off this thing is like, holy shit. And then you go from there. But some good ones, some that I prefer over others. I'm not going to get big into like spoiling each one. You should be able to find this in a lot of places right now, particularly this time of year. But Tales of Halloween, again, everything that's happening, even if it is the devil up here causing it, he's free and up here because it's Halloween night. So Halloween specific imagery, warnings, tropes, traditions, scares, costumes, all of that stuff. Everything Halloween is happening here because it's Halloween. So it's got to be on our list. Tales from Halloween. All right, next up on our list is the family Halloween iconic classic for most people. This is the Disney film, Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus did not do well when it came out at the box office, believe it or not. I know that's hard to believe nowadays, but it didn't do well. But it became a cult hit, basically a Disney cult hit, because it is synonymous with Halloween. And you talk about all the fall and Halloween imagery throughout this movie. It is everywhere. The beautiful leaves. It's set in Salem, Massachusetts. Just the beautiful fall foliage everywhere. costumes everywhere, having a Halloween party, people trick-or-treating. All of it is central to the story, including like the black flame candle having to be lit on Halloween by a virgin. Everything has to do with it being Halloween. So it is 100% Halloween focused. I only got this old DVD. I need like a 4K or something because this is like my daughter loves this movie. But it can't be any more Halloween than it is. It is 100% about Halloween, fun Halloween vibes. Hocus Pocus comes in on our list at number 5. Cracks the top 5. All right, next up on our list is one that I don't have because Netflix holds their stuff hostage. We need a physical media release of one of my new favorites ever, a cheesy, ridiculous, crazy Adam Sandler movie, Hubie Halloween. I just love this ridiculous, stupid movie. And it's another one that is set in Salem, Massachusetts, and they actually filmed it in Salem, Massachusetts. And there is just Halloween vibes everywhere. The whole thing is about Halloween because Adam Sandler plays Hubie Dubois, and he's kind of like Arrested Development as a kid. And so he is big into Halloween. He's focused into Halloween. He has taken him upon himself to be Salem's protector for Halloween. And a killer is on the loose in Halloween, but that's not stopping everybody. There's Halloween parties. There are haunted houses. There are news broadcasts about Halloween and fall festivals and it is just literally, it's like they must have bought every pumpkin and jack-o'-lantern within 100-mile radius. They are everywhere. Everything is Halloween related, happening because it's Halloween. Hubie is focused on Halloween and protecting the town and enjoying Halloween, and costumes abound. Cornfields are even in this. It has literally everything, every trope that you could ever want from Halloween. It has them, and it has become a favorite for me. I probably fall asleep watching this in October almost every night, unless I'm specifically watching something else when I fall asleep. Otherwise, I just put it on Hubie Halloween for all those Halloween vibes and chill out. But it is a ridiculous. Adam Sandler talks with one of his voices, but it is so much fun. And so Hubie Halloween comes in at number 4 on our list. All right, at number 3 on our list is another one I've talked about recently, and I love this movie. I showed this movie to my kids a couple years ago. It was this one and Ernest Saves Christmas that introduced them to Ernest P. Worrell. And I am talking about Ernest Scared Stupid. Man. So I learned since the last time that I talked about Ernest Scared Stupid that the troll in this movie, because this movie actually gets a little scary, right? It gets a little bit scary. The troll, especially if you're a kid, he's scary. He's scary looking, he's gross looking, and he takes kids and he takes their souls and turns them into wooden statues and keeps them in his tree. It's pretty damn scary. Feeds off of their souls. But I have learned that the trolls mask and stuff are made out of repurposed masks from killer clowns from outer space. That's really interesting. I did not know that. But this movie was a favorite for me as a kid, and my kids had a lot of fun with it. And of course, our favorite spot in this movie that we quote to each other all the time is, "How about a bumper sandwich, booger lips?" Ernest, if you grew up in the 80s and you were a kid and you were like under a teenager or right at a teenager in the 80s, Ernest was big time to you. Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Saves Christmas, Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Jail, all that stuff. And I absolutely loved him, Jim Varney, as Ernest. My kids have fun with this movie. We watch it. And of course, Ernest Saves Christmas every year. So Ernest Scared Stupid, 100% Halloween. Everything's happening because it's Halloween. Halloween vibes everywhere, so it has to be on our list. All right, at number 2 on our list is another Halloween-focused movie, and it doesn't get more focused than The Night That No One Came Home. I am talking about Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch. Now, this movie is it's higher than the original Halloween because everything in this movie is happening because it's Halloween. The Shamrock Company, excuse me, they couldn't be doing what they're doing if it was not Halloween, because they're making these masks that are going to, do all this stuff to the people who wear them. And you've got the small town vibes here. Maybe there's not tons of pumpkins and stuff setting out everywhere, but everything, you've got all these Halloween mask commercials, Halloween Superstore commercials, kids in masks, kids wanting to buy masks. Like, everything is happening because it is Halloween. I mean, that artwork kind of sums it up right there, which I think this artwork is the best that Scream Factory had. I love that artwork right there. But everything here, unlike the original Halloween movie that I feel like you could set on like a Saturday night where teenage girls are babysitting, this has to be Halloween. So it is all about Halloween. They're selling the Halloween mask. Halloween is central to the plot, so it comes in higher. Great movie, underrated. I didn't like it as much when I was a kid because I wanted Michael Myers in my Halloween movies, and then as I got older, teenager, adult, everything else, and the more I revisited it, of course, Tom Atkins is in here, but the more you revisit it and you stop thinking about that, the more you realize how good this movie is. It has to be on the list, very high. And Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That brings us to number 1 on our list. And if you follow me, you're probably not going to be surprised, because I think this is the perfect Halloween movie. It is one of my favorite horror movies ever. We're getting a 4K soon. I'm talking about Trick or Treat. Hard to argue against this one. This is another Halloween night-based anthology, but it goes into kind of like old school retro style. Not only do you have all of this happening because it's Halloween, you're getting the Halloween rules and traditions explained with like an old film strip, like we used to watch film strips in school, like an old film strip kind of part of the broadcast where it's giving you the do's and don'ts, the safety of Halloween, all of that stuff. Everything here is happening because of Halloween. And you have little Sam, or Samhain. He is the spirit, the ghost of the spirit of Halloween, embodied in little Sam here. And great anthology, kind of told out of order. It really inspired me when I made my Halloween-based horror anthology creature feature, to do this, kind of Pulp Fiction style where you jump around, but it's also within a comic book. This literally involves everything. It has one of the biggest twist werewolf sequences ever in an anthology that's based on Little Red Riding Hood that I love. You get a little Company of Wolves vibe out of that, a little Into the Woods vibe that gets a twist. And of course, you got Sam. And people who don't follow the rules and the traditions of Halloween get punished. You've got pumpkin carving. You've got town Halloween festivals. You've got trick-or-treaters everywhere. Candy, pranks, literally, this movie is Halloween in a movie. Like the holiday of Halloween put into a horror movie. I think it is perfect. It encapsulates everything about Halloween. It is 100% Halloween focused. It is happening because it's Halloween. So Trick or Treat earns the top spot here on our Halloween focused movies for you to enjoy. We still have like almost 3 weeks. What we got is the 13th when I'm recording this. So we still have 18 days till Halloween. Lots of time to enjoy this one. Enjoy it again and again and again, or little Sam will know it. And that is my list. What did you think of it? Let me know some other Halloween focused, Halloween based movies where Halloween is the key to the plot. Let me know what you think about my rankings. Give me some other movies. I'm always looking to enjoy other movies. If you'd be interested in seeing me like rank like the kind of haunted house movies like Hell House, Hellfest, like all that kind of stuff, Haunt, all that. If you'd be interested in seeing me talk about that, let me know. If you'd be interested in seeing me do a review, in-depth 4K review of Second Sight's The Hitcher or any other movie, let me know, because we are spooky season focused until the end of the month here, and then we'll change gears a little bit. But I'll take requests on any kind of reviews you might want to see. With all the other videos I got planned, I got a lot of other videos coming up. My best all-time haunted house movies. Lots of stuff coming up. Someone asked me about doing a Stephen King movie ranking list. Lots of stuff coming up. And at the time of this recording, I'm only about 50 subscribers away from the big 5,000. I really appreciate you guys so much, growing this channel so fast. So when we get to 5,000, we will be looking probably sometime later this week to do a 5,000 subscriber live stream, big celebration. I've been holding on to some other like gifts and prizes and stuff to give away, big gifts, big things to give away free. And as soon as I hit 5,000, I'll make an announcement on that and we will get it scheduled. You guys let me know what's the best night usually for you to do live streams. Usually for me, it's probably going to be a Wednesday night because of my son's football schedule. But you guys let me know. If you're interested in seeing me do a video where I show you every single horror movie in my collection, I've had some people ask me about that. Let me know. I am just having a blast with this, and I want to involve you as much as possible. I have a lot of plans, but we got time to get yours in too. And I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, please like and subscribe. It really does help me out. If you want to help support the channel further, you can join below at my Patreon link or right here on YouTube, couple of dollars a month, depending on your tier. You get your name and lights, access to special videos, behind the scenes stuff of my filmmaking, and so much more. And it really does help me out way more than you guys know. And I appreciate it all so much. And until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.